it's time for some spring color. Winter has been gray and dreary. It was snowing today, so I am about to put a rainbow into these pots. Join me. Okay, here we are at the propagation station, and as you can see, a few things have changed since I filmed last. And it's not super significant, but I thought I'd give you a quick rundown and also a warning for when you are establishing your own propagation station in your front room where your pets have access. First of all, the box light that I got, the fan, I'm gonna film this now so I can turn the fan off and it won't be in the background for the whole time. I thought that would be fairly annoying, but it turns into white noise and it does help keep things cool. The plants are super happy. As you can see, I use the ever so professional edition of tinfoil to help stop some of the bounce lights on the side so that all of the tray was getting better light and it wasn't spilling so much. It still makes some awesome light pictures at night, and I'll put a couple pictures of that at the end of the video so you can see just how cool my disco room is starting to look. Not the intention, but hey, like I said, not mad at it. I'm gonna go with it. This is working out pretty well. The tomatoes are doing okay. I have been seeing a couple things about using some hydrogen peroxide to help stop some problems with tomatoes when they're germinating. And like I said, I have grown tomatoes once inside from seed where I just put them in pots and let them grow, and then I put them outside, and it worked, but not all of them grew as well as they could have. These are already much sturdier because I have transplanted them, potted them up. The last time I did it, I only did it twice. I've done it once now. I'll probably end up doing it twice more before I put them in the ground, but they are doing very well. Look at them. Hello, little plants. You may not be able to see that at all. I'll have to look in the video because the pink light makes things very interesting, and right now it's getting to be dusk and the camera isn't quite sure what to do with the pink light and the overhead light and me standing here in front of the windows. So this will be fun to look at. Down lower, I have my second set of tomatoes. I also have all of my cucumbers. The cucumbers I planted right after the tomatoes were potted up are doing very well. This cucumber hasn't come up yet, and my ground cherries are a little leggy. I've never grown ground cherries inside from seed before, so I'm not sure exactly what to do with those. We'll see. I have a tray of marigolds down lower that are doing very well, and this bottom shelf down here, which is empty right now, has my heat mat. So that bottom germination station with the heat mats is actually where these strawberry plants have been. And I was super worried about the strawberry plants not germinating yet. I put them in the same time as those cucumbers that are doing beautifully, but something that I needed to remind myself was to go read the package. And so when I read the package, it said that the strawberries would take from 14 to 48 days to germinate. So I was like, well, I will not be worried about those anymore because it's only been 7 days. So a good tip, something that I need to remember and remind myself, so I'm reminding you because when I remind other people, it always helps me remember, is to read the packaging. It's a great resource, and I love when seeds come with lots of information on the back that help me as a gardener make great choices about what I want to do and how I want to use them. So now I'm going to turn off the fan on that grow light. Ooh, and I got to go turn off the heater in the house, which is one of the reasons why I'm wearing this hat, which I've had since high school, because as soon as I turn the heater off, it's going to get really cold in here. So I am going to be nice and toasty warm. And it's not just covering up the fact that I'm having a bad hair day. Totally not. Hi, I'm Amy. Welcome back to Hummingbird Hill. I am so excited to be here this afternoon because right now I am looking out at a landscape that is golden and glorious. The sky is this deep, rich, bluish steel gray, and the grass is glowing from the sun. So it goes from kind of dark green up into golden, into the darker tree line, and then into the skies. It is beautiful. If you want to see some more of the pictures of just kind of daily life on the farm and the little tiny funny things that happen or beautiful things I notice, please follow me at at Hummingbird Hill Homespun over on Instagram. I post pictures there daily, often more than once a day, just of things I notice and things that happen here on the farm. Today, the thing that has to happen, the thing that I want to happen, the thing that I'm here talking to you about actually is getting some flowers ready for spring. As you know, I've said a few times, my mother is battling stage 4 cancer and she has a hankering for flowers that will not quit. Last year, we tried to buy as many flowers as possible, but really with the area around both of the houses, there just weren't enough. And there's no way I can afford to buy that many flowers. So the best thing to do is get some started by seed. Last year, this hankering did not come until kind of June-ish. So this year I'm getting a jump start, and I've gone through all of my seed packs and I pulled out the seeds that can be started inside and will mostly transplant well. There's a couple that I'll talk about that I have to be a little more careful with, but I have extra seed packets just in case. Because flowers can be a little tricky to get started, and these are all perennial flowers except for my moss roses, which are just adorable and I love. They're like little fairy flowers, so I had to get some of those. They make a beautiful carpet. So I'm gonna get started planting these. I had to go out and get some more pots. I went through all of the pots that I'm recycling from last year. I have all of my starts in them. They're all filled up, and the local store really only had these. And these are the bigger size of this. These are seed starter pots. Don't know if you can see that very well. I would not plant my vegetables in these for the most part. They're fine, they're biodegradable, they're made from organic recycled materials, but these pots can actually, if you don't tear them up a little bit, they say they'll biodegrade, but they can actually trap your roots in the pot until they biodegrade. They take a while. So even if these are kind of starting to get soggy when it's time to put them in the ground, I'm still gonna slice them or tear them up a little bit so the roots have a way to get out of the pot. Let me just throw those everywhere. So like I said, today's goal is just to get some seeds in pots and just say hi to you, see how you're doing. I actually am so excited. I've had a few more followers join the channel, and a couple people have actually jumped over from Instagram to say hello, which is awesome. Petals on the Paving Stones was so nice to follow my channel and send me a message just to wish me good luck, which I thought was awesome. So I checked out his channel and I'll link it below. He is super funny. His like banner video, I don't know exactly what those are called. I'll figure that out. His like channel introduction video right now, at least it was last time I looked, was a kitchen karaoke that is just hilarious. So you should go watch that and say hi to him just because it's so nice. And actually one of the things I noticed when I looked kind of scrolling through his channel to see a little information about him before I was like, oh, should I recommend this person or not? What I really loved is he's following a lot of small garden channels just to kind of give them a boost and give them support. And I think that is so awesome, because the more that we support each other as community members, the stronger we all are. And I think that's something that if we remember just a little more in this world, we might have a little less stress going on and a little more of that old community spirit, that old pioneer spirit where everyone helped each other out and the world seemed simpler, I guess, even if it may not have been. In any case, oh my gosh, sorry, the sun, the window, it's gorgeous. And I'm gonna put some videos either at the end of this video or in a separate little video with some weather and some other little snippet videos together. But I'm so excited, I can't even talk. I'm sorry, I sound like a doofus. In any case, we have had some amazing weather in the past couple weeks. It is trying to be spring, it is getting there, and it's not quite, which is that fun time when the weather is beautiful and warm and you don't need a jacket one day and the next day it's snowing. That's kind of what it's been. So in any case, I'm gonna get some flowers in and I'll tell you just a little bit about them, but I thought we'd just chat and plant. And if this goes on too long, I'll fast forward it a lot because you've already seen me pot up all my tomatoes. But I just want to tell you a little bit about using these pots, getting some flower seeds started, and especially I wanted to talk about my mom's favorite flowers. Well, one of her favorite flowers, she really doesn't discriminate, but I don't know where to go. The poppy is one of Mom's favorite flowers. And actually, I went back and I looked up these 2 seed companies that I grabbed when I was at the farm store, because I like I said, I should not be let loose in the farm store when it's getting close to spring, when they have pretty things out like seed packets and bulbs and plants, because then I buy them. So I went back and double checked on these just to make sure that they were not related to any seed companies that I'm not supporting, because sometimes I buy things without thinking, and then I'm like, oh wait, does that fit with what I really want to be sharing with the world? And on the couple of sites that I looked up, both of these, the ahem and the Livingston seeds, were okay. So they're not necessarily brands I would use for my vegetables, but for flower seeds, they're what is available, and so I bought them. Oh, poppies, Mom's favorite. These are hard to get to grow, from what I understand. And I tried to grow some last year, just putting them out in the landscape. They did not do well. But that's really the best place to grow them, because as this packet says, let me just read this to you real quick. Seeds can be sown directly in place from spring through early fall, so they can be sown outside. Do not cover seed from soil with the back of your hand. Seeds can be sowed into flats or individual pots for later transplant. Care must be taken during transplant. It has a long carrot-like taproot, so you need to keep considerable soil around the plant and root, and water well right after transport. So I'm going to try starting these in these pots, which is one of the reasons I chose the bigger size for this batch, because all I'm going to do is tear the pot up a little bit to give that root some space when I put it out in the ground. So I'm hoping this combination will work well together. But I also happen to have like 6 other packs of poppy seeds to try if this doesn't work. So I am going to get started with that. I have my soil mix here, which is nice and wet and gloppy. I took just some basic organic omri rated potting soil, and I got it wet because I don't want to wet the seeds. So I'm going to put the wet soil in, put the seeds on top, maybe give a light spritz with a spray bottle. But other than that, I am not going to water except from the bottom up until these are more established. And even then, I'll probably water from the bottom up, because I think that's something I'm supposed to do based on all of the research I've been doing lately about how to do all this stuff properly, which I am still figuring out. camera just turned off. I hope there's still sound. In any case, I was saying thank you so much for coming and joining me. Now I have to check the camera because otherwise, hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, so it was a good thing that I went to check because apparently the iPhone does not appreciate it when you talk for 22 minutes straight and film yourself. So now that I've deleted 72-ish other things, I hope that I can get this little exit done. And I also noticed that because it's almost totally dark outside now, I have some really great shadows going along behind me. I could almost do a little shadow puppet show, except I'm not really good. I almost got the wolf dog. It's not quite right. Yeah, no, not working. I'll have to work on that for the next time. But I really appreciate you just hanging out while I am getting some flowers potted up for Mom. I'm not sure exactly what else to do when you're sitting around potting up flowers and filming it, but chat. So thank you for listening while I was sharing a little bit more of my story and my journey in the garden. I hope that you are going to go and get yourself a rainbow planted so that your spring is just a little more colorful. And if you would hit that little red subscribe button and click that little dingly bell so that you're notified when I make a new video, that would be awesome. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking down below. I promise that I will say hello back and answer any questions that you might have at the moment. But right now, I hope that you will come back next time so we can do a little bit more growing together.